Now, as we dug deeper into their lives, we noticed something strange. Charles was born around 1820, Maggie around 1830. And those dates stood out because the transatlantic slave trade was outlawed in 1808. After that, very few Africans came into the United States, meaning that Charles and Maggie must have been smuggled into this country illegally. We'd never seen this before in the series, and it led us to a stunning story. Now, Amir, this is an article that's published in a newspaper called The Tarboro Southerner on July 14th, 1860.
Arrival of a cargo of African Negroes. Schooner Clotilda with Africans arrived in Mobile Bay today. A steamboat immediately took them up the river.
On Monday, July 9th, 1860, 1894. Would you please read the transcribed section?
Of course, Captain Timothy Maher was a defender of the institution and declared that despite the stringent measures taken by most of the civilized powers to crush out the overseas traffic, it could still be carried on successfully, offered to wager that he would, quote, import a cargo in less than 2 years.
That man made a bet with another man that reshaped your entire family tree. A bet.
Oh my God, it's just... I can't stop looking at this person.
Questlove wanted to know more about what his ancestors endured. We showed him the journal of the captain of the Clotilda, a man named William Foster. It describes in detail how he obtained his cargo.
From thence, I went to see the king of Dahomey. We went to the warehouse where they had in confinement 4,000 captives in a state of nudity, from which they gave me liberty to select 125 as mine.
The odds. Think about the odds, man.
So 4,000 chosen.
There were 4,000 captives, all in slaves. The Kingdom of Dahomey was famous for selling slaves, and they sold slaves to Europeans. White man shows up. He's trying to satisfy this bet, make some money, and he picks 125 people. And just by random accident, one of them is your ancestor. What's it like to learn all this, to be able to name and see on a map the very place in Africa that your family comes from? To know the circumstances?
I mean, all types of emotions are running through my head. I feel sad. I feel angered. I feel confused. I feel lucky.
Questlove now knew more about how his African ancestors came to the United States than anyone I've ever met. But there was still another beat to their story. Captain Foster's journal indicated that when the Clotilda arrived in Mobile, the captive Africans were transferred to a steamboat, taken to a hiding place on an island in the Spanish River, and then sold. We don't know who purchased Questlove's ancestors, but we do know that after they were freed, Charles and Maggie Lewis became farmers, living close to the river where they likely came ashore in America. Many of their descendants still live in that area today, and thanks to them, I had one last thing to reveal. Could you please turn the page? You, Amir, are looking at your third great-grandfather. That is your original African ancestor, brother. That is Charlie Lewis.
How? How did you?
The photo comes from a descendant of Charlie Lewis like you, one of your cousins.
That's my great-great-great-grandfather.
That is your third great-grandfather.
The eyes are the same.
You know how lucky you are, Amir? It's a miracle.
I never imagined this in my entire life, that I'd see this.